Whoa. I just watched Iron Lung in theaters and now I have some notes for you guys. This is a movie that I've been excited for. I even made a video glazing it because I've been so excited. I had to go support my boy Markiplier. I've enjoyed a lot of his previous projects with his, TV shows and, even the big YouTube projects. I've enjoyed his stuff thoroughly and he has a real talent for this stuff. So best believe I got my ticket early, especially right now in the way the internet is. Like, it's more important than ever to support real human works of art. And we're starting with Iron Lung. I'm just gonna get straight into it. So if you haven't guessed by the trailer or the original game that we're adapting here, the entire movie takes place in this submarine. It's Simon, played by Markiplier. You're just in it together. You're in it with him. I just want to say off rip, the set, right? The submarine set ripped from the game, like 1-to-1, amazing. They did a great job with the set. Very visually pleasing movie, but we'll get to that in a second. This is a suspense film, I will say. I know that this has the horror genre tag, but it's not really like scary, like, oh, I'm gonna have nightmares, but it's like a very eerie kind of stressful situation. It is a slow burn film, that's for sure. The first hour, I want to say, this movie's 2 hours long. The first hour, I want to say, is so slow. It is a slow burn. You're watching Simon do all these, chores. He's taking the pictures. He's moving the submarine around. He's checking all of his, stuff. It's basically like you're just watching him play the game again. Barely any dialogue in the first 30 minutes of this film. You're literally just watching him control the submarine. But as soon as that second hour starts, I could see a lot of people being bored and like zoned out in the beginning, the first half. But as soon as that second half hits, you're locked in. One negative thing that I want to say off rip is that the audio mixing in this movie, the music and the sound effects and all of the kind of, background noise and stuff like that is perfect. But for some reason, I feel like a lot of the dialogue, especially when our main character Simon is talking, back and forth with the lady on the intercom, there's moments where, it's kind of hard to understand what these people are saying, especially in certain scenes, especially at the end. There's a bunch of voices kind of like, mixing together. You got Simon's inner thoughts because he's just gone mad. Who wouldn't go mad in this situation? You got the intercom going off. I don't know if that's just a theater issue. I watched Moist Critical's video on it and he said the exact same thing, so I know I'm not tripping. Everything's clear for the most part, but it just gets a little muddy when it comes to the intercom dialogue. The last 20 minutes of this film are just mind-blowing, like absolutely pandemonium, heart racing. It gets real crazy real fast. I'm all over the place. I need to get back on track though. There's a lot of blood in this movie, and it's not like gore blood. Like the whole plot of the movie is that there's this submarine going onto this moon that's covered in blood. It's just a blood ocean that we're navigating through. Naturally, there's a lot of stuff going on. I believe this movie set the record for the most fake blood used in any movie. Markiplier was really, pushing that, promoting that. It's pretty calm and normal for the most part, but trust me, in the end, you'll see exactly why they use so much. Beautifully shot film, as I said before. In the visuals department, absolutely no complaints. In fact, this movie looks prettier than a lot of movies out right now. It gets to a point where it's like they're just showing off. Markiplier's acting was actually really good, and I was so worried before, coming into this movie. I've seen his other projects and stuff, but it's like a YouTuber actor, I see the vision, but it's like there's some progress to be made. But on Iron Lung, I was pretty immersed in the character. There wasn't a moment that really broke my immersion that I said, wait a minute, man, that's just Markiplier in a submarine. No, it actually felt like this character, Simon. I didn't think he was going to be horrible, but he was actually pretty good in this film, at least for YouTuber standards. Probably best I've seen YouTuber actor wise. One thing I do wish we got in the first hour, and I think this would have helped it not feel as slow, we did get these kind of like subtle, kind of quick cut flashbacks, trying to describe the backstory of Simon and how he got in this situation in the first place. 10-second little spurts throughout the movie. I wish we would have gotten a full length flashback scene, 2 minutes at max, 2 to 3 minutes, right, of just backstory or exposition. We didn't get any of that. Instead, for the first hour, it was just pretty calm and dare I say, boring. Dialogue's pretty good. The writing isn't super cringy. You know, it feels like a movie. Well, I would hope so. I'm not good at putting my thoughts into words, especially because I literally just left the theater. But the dialogue gets intense. There's like some real, back and forth moments. I'd be feeling bad for our main character here. I was feeling bad for him the whole time. Mark really helped sell that character and helped us kind of feel what he was feeling in that situation. I thought I was feeling bad for him in the first half. Second half onwards, it was messed up. They were doing him dirty. I'm not going to reveal too much. So yeah, really main complaints was just, there's some things with the audio mixing that, it is what it is. This movie could have been shorter. Now, mind you, it's only 2 hours. I mean, not only 2 hours. I don't know. I feel like this could have been done in 90 minutes. This is an incredible feat for Markiplier and YouTubers in general, creators in general. This is a huge step. The fact that he was even able to make this movie, self-financed indie film from a video game adaptation, for him to do that and get it in theaters. And my theater was full. That's the crazy thing. Like, YouTube Motion is really so crazy, and it's so much stronger than TikTok or any of these other platforms, but people just don't realize it, especially when you're an OG like Mark and you've been in the game for a long time. Like, there's real audience behind this stuff, behind this website. My theater was literally at 85% capacity, right? The YouTuber movie, multiple showings at that. There was a showing that was at 11:30. I didn't go to that one, but that's wild. This is a 2-hour movie. You're not gonna get home till 1. This was a real challenge for Mark as well, because I mean, like I said, this entire movie takes place in the submarine, and you're just staring at Mark Simon, our character, played by Mark, the entire time. So he had to really sell us on the entire story by himself. There were some moments with other characters, but it was so brief. There was emotional moments, there were stressful moments, there was anger, it's a roller coaster, that's for sure. I gotta watch at least like 10 ending explained videos because of this one. I've come to know Mark's style of horror, right? Like, everything he does has to have some type of almost supernatural kick to it. Even going back to like Darkiplier, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's been a little strange, right? A lot to unpack here, a lot to think about. I gotta see what everybody else is saying about the movie. In conclusion, I don't think this movie will be everyone's cup of tea. I enjoyed it. I think it was cool, but I definitely think that it's a slow burn. I don't really enjoy slow burns like that. I wish the entire movie was just the second half, to be honest with you. I think a lot of people will be put off by that and say it's boring and say it's this and that. But at the end of the day, this is an incredible feat, solid film, excellent debut. I'm going to encourage you to watch it yourself and form your own opinion. This is just coming out the theater. It's not going to be a super detailed review. Maybe I should have took more time with it, but that's just not my style. Those are my initial thoughts, first impressions of Iron Lung. Let me know if you guys saw it. Let me know if you're going to see it. I'm going to give this movie a why doesn't anybody else want that out of 10. That's all I got, and I'll see you next time.